Welcome to Ep.2 of Cymatic Sociology. I am your boy, Tahuti Hermes Trismegistus, aka your trippy Trip C psychedelic psychopomp, Chase Clarence Calloway. And in Ep.2, we are continuing our sociological dissections as to why YouTube has removed the ability for all of us as viewers to see the dislike button. In our first episode, we covered how the only reason that YouTube would actually remove the dislike button, because they're telling us that it's to protect small creators. In the first episode, we can see how it's not at all to protect small creators, but large corporations. Not a small creator, large corporations. Now, these large corporations are made by small creators, aka the 1% of the 1% that make money off of enslaving everyone else through this ultimate pyramid scheme where they want to colonize everything Egypt did, but their idea of building a pyramid is just controlling everyone outside of themselves instead of actually being hermetic and learning how to build structures by going inward. They call us black people the inward because they want us to go inward and build their pyramids for them. That's what all this slavery looks like. That's what invading indigenous land looks like. That's what using a made-up number to then enslave indigenous peoples and create all this technology that traps them looks like. That's what the Matrix looks like. The Matrix is the white supremacist version of the pyramid. I built the pyramid to establish the Matrix so that it's possible for people to enslave others on a grid, because we're here ascending. And now it's your option whether you want to actually ascend or if you want to get trapped inside of something that people made to stop your ascension. But the only reason they were able to make this technology is because someone else set up their ascension in the first place. Okay, so we're just talking about sociology. All right, the fact is, all of us as spirits play some role in socializing ourselves into existence and using our ability to socialize to build structures that make it possible for others to socialize more consciously. That's me doing these videos. So this is hilarious because we know from our first video that YouTube has removed the dislike button because they are selling fear. And the fear that they're selling has not been getting received by people well. People have been disliking their fear videos a lot. Like the YouTube homepage, since the whole plan, Hemic, I'm going to start rhyming the words just because I know we're literally in this time where we're supposed to be going through this outbreak, yet we as the people get censored and have our videos taken down if we talk about the outbreak we're supposed to be going through. So it's like the fact that the news and the government telling us that we're going through an outbreak is the one that is only allowed to talk about it should be everything. Like the fact that we have to censor ourselves from using the word that was given to us to describe how we're all getting sick and dying makes no sense. If we were in any real government or any real civilization or any real pandemic, then the government, the entities, the powers that be would want us to openly communicate because they actually want to figure out what's going on. The fact that we can't openly communicate about this whole sickness that is gripping the entire globe makes no sense except for the people who actually made up the idea and are making money off of making us think that they have the only solution, which is getting this injection. So it's so funny because now I can't even find the videos. It's like they released so many of these videos. Just yesterday, I was looking at the videos that they were releasing on the YouTube homepage, and they were mainly about you having to do mandates and like get more injections, and like it was talking about like a fourth booster injection and all that. And literally, it's so amazing that I can't find this now in time for this because they release so much. They want to make so much money off of making people scared of breathing, and then making people think that they need an injection to be healthy so that they can further create health problems with that actual injection. And they're so passionate about doing this that YouTube has revamped their homepage since the pandemic, so that it's just constant advertising the news. And now it's just corporations. Like, YouTube was about small creators until 2020, at the very most. I mean, they probably were not about small creators like before that, but it was shown on the homepage and shown in all of their actions. Like, YouTube will take down videos of everyday people talking about the sickness that they're going through, but corporations and news sites and people that are getting paid to talk about it are able to post about it. This is why they took away the dislike button, because people that are getting paid to push fear are having their videos disliked, and the only way that they can keep making money is to take away our ability to dislike the thing that they want us to constantly relate on. They want us to only like the idea of being scared and not breathing. The fact that we're disliking it means that they need to take away our ability to see how many other people dislike it, so that we will feel disconnected and all that. Yeah, this is so funny. And now I can't even find it, because that's just life, it seems. Like, they release so many of these videos that it's just, oh my gosh. Like, this is why they had to take away the dislike button. Because, like, these videos are getting so many dislikes, and people are talking about it. Like, people are, like, I'm here to, like, read the comments, and now I can't find anything. And it's a shame. And it's weird, like, I can't even look at, man. All right, so there's a new category. They have multiple categories for this. So this one is Rovid Hindbean Pediatric Man Leans. And this category is specifically for kids. So they're literally, like, they're pushing this onto kids. What parents need to know about the Rovid Hindbean Black Peen for kids. Kids and bloated back peens. Like, they are obsessed with injecting children with this stuff and broadcasting it on the homepage. And then when I click on a video, let me look. Let me see. You have no option to like or dislike. If I like it, I can't see the likes. If I so they just want to project it into your space. They don't want us to have the option to be able to see how we feel about these videos. It's literally just new TV. You know how when TV comes out, you have no idea how other people feel about the commercial that you're watching? And then the internet became revolutionary because now we can watch a commercial and see that 10 other thousand people hate this commercial. So clearly something is up, and now we can feel connected with those viewers. Yeah, that's gone, right? Like, it defeats the whole it's like YouTube became TV. The people who made TV then bought YouTube and are like, hey, we want to only project ideas into people's spaces. Can you do this for us? And then YouTube is like, oh, well, yeah, I mean, we can take away people's ability to rate the videos so that you'll just full on project it into their space, and they have no connection to anyone else that you projected this video into the space of. And now it'll just be TV. Like, literally, comments turned off for this video. Like, what kind of free speech world is this? Why are you selling me what parents need to know about this bloated pack peen, and people can't even rate the video? It has 30,000 views, but no likes, no comments, no dislikes. And then all these videos, like, they're all about making sure that you get this injection into kids as early as possible. And none of them have open communication. Like, what kind of life is this? Like, you're telling me that we need to get shots. We need to shoot our children with your fluid, but we can't even talk about it on the videos that you're projecting into our spaces. We can't even rate the videos. We can't comment on the videos where you're telling us that we need to get your injection of your fluids into our bodies so that we can breathe. Bro, like, this is so... Like, I don't have words for, like, how disgustingly twisted and evil this is. And how blatant it is. Like, how could people support this? And again, the fact is, like, they don't. Like, the fact is, people don't support this. This is why they took away the dislike button. It's so wild. Well, like, this is true sociology, guys. Like, life is somatic. We are only able to reflect upon the creations of others. We are only able to ride a vibration because we are communicating ourselves into existence. This is what somatic sociology is all about. So we're all learning about ourselves based on how we communicate. Like, we get to learn about YouTube based on how they want to take away the dislike button from how we were communicating with the dislike button into all these blaboma virus videos. The fact that I can't even say it without getting censored, the fact that like I have to like do rhymes and stuff because it's a pandemic that I'm not able to talk about even though I'm the one getting affected by. So like how do I prepare my child for their bloated back pain appointment? And it's just like, okay, cool. No, like we can't like it, we can't dislike it, we can't talk about it, but they're more like they're willing to just like position all this stuff and project it into our space and get all these views and be like, yeah, like here's how the black peen was developed, here's how we made the medicine, here's this is why children, here's back peens for kids ages 5 to 11, but we can't even talk about it. How are you going to forcibly make our children get injections based on videos that you're saying we cannot like, dislike, or even comment on? That's no different. It's no different. It's actually no different than telling us that we need to be enslaved by the president, even though we didn't even vote for the president. I, as an indigenous person, didn't even vote for the government to be here. But you're telling me as a government that my only way to be free in land that you're stealing from me is to vote for one of the two candidates that you're going to use to enact my genocide. This is how the government works. And the fact that I can't even find the other videos, like, oh my gosh. Because I was hopping on here to read those comments. We are living in the most messed up time. Like, of course there's way more other messed up times, but like, no. What's super messed up is that the people who are messing it up have to do their best to convince you and convince us that they are not causing genocide with all of their technology. When they're actively causing genocide with all their technology, but they can only spread their technology by making it look like it's helping us. That's what all this stuff is. We're only using it because we feel like we can connect on it. This is why we are allowing it sociologically. But we're seeing how all this technology that we're using to connect is actually disconnecting us as humans. As spirits operating human bodies, the technology that we're using to further connect inside of the simulation is actually creating mental issues and emotional disease inside of our cells and inside of our beings. And it's actually disconnecting us from each other. And it's actually allowing the people who are putting this technology in our space to make money off of further disconnecting us from each other. Facebook Meta is going to make so much money off of further disconnecting people underneath the Luciferian lie that people are getting connected. Okay, so here's a video where I can see the dislikes. Like, dislikes 572, likes 131. Time for a conversation on mandatory bovid back beans. Here's some comments. We are not interested in discussing mandatory black teens. No means no. Of course, thank you, comment, Claire PP. Of course, this white supremacist government, again, America was not built by no means no. The indigenous peoples said no. Hey, please stop raping us. Please stop stealing our land. But that's not how this government was made. That's not how America was built. America was not built by actually respecting boundaries. That's why America is obsessed with putting down boundaries so that they can hyper project how they somehow own the land that they stole from not respecting other people's boundaries. So now they want us to believe that indigenous peoples are immigrants and white people are the actual Americans. And now we're talking about the border. And all these racist people are like, oh, Mexicans at the border. And everyone's okay with all these children being abused at the border because they're indigenous and somehow indigenous immigrants in land that was stolen from them. Alvira Potter. Dude, understand this. Any debate that concerns mandating or forcing people into something cannot and will never be considered a healthy debate. Exactly. Like, how can we consider this medication healthy when we can't even vote on it? We're not allowed to talk about the effects. We're not allowed to comment. We're not allowed to like or dislike. All we can do is listen to you tell us how we need your stuff and we need you to make money off of injecting us. Bro, I just got off of not eating food for 19 days. I changed my life from not eating food for 24 days. And in between these two times, I've not eaten food for like months on months on months. And this system is going to actively tell me, like, it doesn't matter how much you fast, Chase. You still need our injection to be healthy. It's just ultimate projection of them wanting to create disease inside of me. And I have to know, as Hermes Trismegistus, how to be connected to my spirit so I can communicate in a way that protects myself. Because this is gnarly. Taking away your rights is a good thing. Right, like, it's actually my decision to have autonomy over my own body. I'm like, these comments, like, this is the point of Cymatic sociology. It's why I'm here. I'm called into this realm because it's literally like the government versus the people, in terms of how the people are nature. We are nature. You and I create nature so we can connect. The government is people who want to make money off of nature, so they create further technology that colonizes nature. Now we're dealing with all this technology that can only exist inside of and because of nature, and because we allow it to, yet it's creating all the problems because we're supporting people who are creating problems inside of our own space. And it looks like this. Now, declare mandatory vaccinations, and I'll quit cannabis and alcohol and become a full-time militant. This man's guilty conscience is ran all over his face. He looks tired and anxious. Hilarious. It's actually time to end conversations about it. It's time to end everything about it. I would rather go to jail than take the black scene. Who gave authority for the WHO director to decide now is the time for a conversation on a mandatory vaccination? Sleazy salesman desperately trying to sell a product no sane person wants to buy. No sane person wants to buy this indeed. There's no conversation to be had. I don't want mandatory boosters for the rest of my life. Literally. Because, like, that's obviously where they're going with it. It's that totalitarian tiptoe, of course. Like, you get the vaccine, but now there's infinite boosters and infinite upgrades. And now it's just like you're a computer. You're a hardware thing. Now you never have enough injections. The air is already updated with a new virus. Literally, it's Bill Gates. The fact that this is all spearheaded by Bill Gates is no coincidence, of course. Like, the fact that Macintosh computers, or whatever his brand of computer is, constantly gets viruses, not Mac, Windows. The fact that his brand of Windows is just open for viruses flying in, whereas the Mac is not, just shows, like, they couldn't even get Steve Jobs to push the vaccine into us. At least he made computers that didn't get viruses. The fact that this whole thing is pushed by Bill Gates, who literally is notorious for having technology that gets viruses, shows that they want to create viruses inside of our bodies. This is so wild. I'll fight to the death before having anyone stab me with poison. These comments are woke. And this is why, like, because, like, all the comments on these videos have been woke for, like, the past year and a half. So this is a big, like, this is the reason. It's the reason why YouTube took away the dislike button. So now you can see that, like, okay, we can't see the dislikes, but if I go into the comments, I can see that no one agrees with this video. This is fear-mongering. I've lost all respect for anyone who's still supporting these WHO clowns. It's time we had a conversation about guillotining these tyrants, literally. I hope they like hospital food if anyone tries to force anything on my family. Time to lock up these monsters. Time for a conversation about how the public should act accordingly to this BS. Wow, this was their goal all along. To all who have not taken the vaccine, well done. Keep safe. And I just said it. The Maxpine, the Paxchine, the Laxchine. It's in there. It's in that, the Saxtine, Sax. I'm just trying to get the algorithm. I don't know. This is such a disgustingly ugly, stupid censorship time we're in. This technology that we're using to communicate is so bad. I hate having to speak into this. Like, this stuff is not good. The people who made this are not, like, this is not intelligent. It's reliant on making us think it's intelligent when all it's doing is dumbing us down. We're intelligent, and we're less intelligent for supporting this technology. Bill Gates' money is going to good use, I see. Literally. These comments are woke, bro. The people who feel like they have something worth communicating are the ones who've connected with themselves and are more intelligent to actually communicate. Of course, the entities who are making money fear-mongering, they just want to keep everyone dumb and reacting to it. So they don't care about the people consciously communicating. They want to stop us from doing that, hence why they take away the dislike button. And this stuff is wild. And now my device is about to die. So, yeah, that is it for this episode right here. This is going to be a constantly updated thing as they release dozens upon dozens of videos every day, and people are commenting and having their stuff blocked and everything. Because this is the global conversation being had. Whether we are going to let some group of individuals that we've never met tell all of us through the internet that they projected into our space through the genocide of indigenous peoples that we need to let them inject their mystery fluid inside of us while they continuously create cancer and destroy the environment and do horrible things to everything. Just everything. So, yeah. This technology that we're using to communicate is complete garbage. Alright? We as spirits are socializing ourselves into existence, and anything that we connect on is something that's limiting us because we are too infinite to actually be relatable. So I, as a spirit, as an individual spirit, my ego is too big for this world. My individuality is too big for this world. The only way that I can fit my ego into the universe is if I kill it with my soul. So I have to use my soul, I have to use my vibration to feel like connecting my God. That's the point of Lucifer falling from heaven. I have to use my Lucifer, I have to use my water, I have to use my Lucifer, my psychedelic watery soul, to cycle through emotions and channel this direct fire into air. So now I can channel my fire through my water and thus create a mind. So I'm putting my imagination into my feelings, or in my imagination into my emotions. I'm putting my God into my Lucifer. I'm putting my man into my woman. I'm putting my fire into my water. Now I'm creating chi. I'm creating air. I'm creating the mind that I'm using to actually externalize myself and communicate how I feel about my imagination. This is all life. All of life is space communicating how it feels about its imagination. This is why everything is vibrational, and then everything's ideas, and it's just all imaginations then. And anything that you can see was first imagined by a spirit before they connected with themselves enough to be able to communicate it into existence. And if they actually believed in the imagination enough, they communicated consistently enough in a way that actually built the structure to support their imagination and their feelings. That's what a tree is. That's what all plants are. This is how we use our internal alchemical, elemental, natural, spiritual abilities to create the universe and create the natural universe that we can then create artificial simulations inside of. So right now, Earth, in general, just Earth. Earth is the artificial simulation. Water is the natural universe. So all of us as spirits have to create nature before we can get lost in technology. This is the point of then us looking at technology here. Technology does not exist. Technology is not possible without nature first being the arena for anything to be inside of it. So this is where, if you're going to develop any kind of technology, you have to learn how to work with your internal technology first. You have to learn how to work with your internal nature. The reason these white supremacists don't know how I built the pyramids is because they don't know how to work with their inward. That's why they call me the N-word. That's why they call indigenous black people the N-word, because they hate how we go inward to create life. So they're going to create garbage technology like this phone, these computers, all these maximations, and they're going to forcibly project it into our space because they need to create issues inside of us. This is how white people play God, by spreading genocide into our land so that they can act like, when we're all one God, that their solution to all of us having problems is for us to go to their heaven. So it's just so disgustingly evil. Like, I could go on and on about like the psychological manipulation. That's why I've made these series, because this is important. Um, Again, this technology is garbage. This technology is unreliable. This technology is created by people who do not want us to be free. That's why all this technology, again, Facebook is only like been put on blast for actively creating mental health issues and emotional issues and hurting humans. And this technology is actively hurting humans. It's actively hurting our ability to be happy inside of ourselves, yet we keep using it. Why? Because it's being projected into our space. Because we're at the point now where we're being told that the system that has forcibly enslaved and spread genocide into indigenous lands can send us to prison and kill us if we don't make money through technology. So now we're constantly forced to learn how to use the technology that's being projected into our space to communicate in this white supremacist way, in the way that the technology wants us to communicate, because that's how they make money off of our minds. So now all of us as spirits, the more we focus on the internet every day, the more we focus on YouTube every day, these apps, the more we're limited to communicating in the way the internet wants us to communicate. And the more that then the people who built the internet can make money off of making us seem like we're connected while actually separating all of us, and then they can play even bigger Big Brother, and now they can watch how we all feel. And that's the point of all this Masona virus video stuff too. They literally just releasing everything they want, and then they're watching all of us release. Like, the people who built this internet are watching all of us release videos. And anyone who is talking an inkling of truth or sharing their actual personal experience from life, they're making sure to get deeper into your account and monitor and block your stuff. Like, my Symmetry TikTok just got deleted after I started blowing up for sharing fasting. And I got to like 17.5 thousand. Like, that was the number I was at last until I opened up my account and just saw I was banned. And now I can't get it back. So these people, they are reliant. This technology is reliant on making us communicate into it. They can take away our social media accounts at any time. You can put years of your life into building a social media account. You can make all these posts, and they're harvesting your energy. They're harvesting your mind. They're harvesting your information, and then they can cut you off from it and not give you any explanation. And now you're on the outs. Now, because you're locked out of your account, you can't make a living. You can't make money. And now the system can spread more genocide into you based on how you're not living inside of the matrix that they have put out into the environment, that they have violently spread, again, through religious propaganda genocide, that everyone's just supporting because they feel like connecting. So this is the issue. Like, spirits feeling like connecting with something outside of themselves is what creates problems throughout the whole universe. This is why I create Hermeticism. This is why I've created Hermeticism in all past lifetimes, and why I'm here doing it now. No one can do Hermeticism like me because no one is a space making it. Any other space talking about Hermeticism is literally limited to the language that I'm communicating my individuality from. Hermeticism is the natural expression of me as an individual making sense of the world. So the fact is, everything in the world makes sense because spirits are making their emotions make sense through numbers so that they can connect with a spirit outside of themselves. That's all any simulation is ever going to be. So you're going to watch space turn its elements into something. So its elements, its emotions are nothing, but now they're elements, now they're something, and then they're stabilized into numbers. So again, I'm in one body. How many cells make up this body? A lot. But to you, to us, we can perceive it as one body. So I'm one space, but clearly the space is multifaceted because it has multiple things expressing it. I'm not just a blob. So all of us as space, the point is we as space are evolving every day based on how we are learning about ourselves from us communicating. So this is the point of you building up memories and you spending every day absorbing memories and processing them inside of your subconscious mind. So this is why life is subconscious, and all of us are creating the universe so that we can connect. It's that simple. This is why your universe is always going to be a reflection of your universe. As in, the universe is always going to be a reflection of your universe. You're not going to be able to travel where you're not in vibrational resonance with. So when you enter the universe as a spirit, you can't run from yourself. This is why no matter what I get taught through whatever white supremacist system, I can't not be me. I can't not be Tahuti Trismegistus, because Tahuti Trismegistus is what I've created to express myself. So if I'm going to make any sense out of how I've been creating life, then I'm going to build upon what I've created in the past. That's the point of building in general. That's how anything makes sense. This white supremacist Christian Judeo system only wants to educate me as Chase that I have not lived before, because it is reliant on keeping me ignorant and disconnected from who I am. And thus, it wants to make me connect to its heaven and connect to its father. And then that's where this religion and this mindset and this government is obsessed. This English language is obsessed with disconnecting me from my space so that I will feel unworthy of being God. And now I'll feel like I should be a black slave for the people who are actively colonizing my land and taking over everything that I've already made. Because the only way that I would continuously pay attention to people who are cannibalizing me is if I felt like I wasn't worth creating or expressing myself anymore. So that's the time we're in now. This is all psychological warfare, like how America's been built and what makes America great. And how Europe has made America great. Because, America is just like the ultimate expression of Europe. So, it's disgusting. This is so disgusting. This technology is so bad. This technology, literally has planned obsolescence and creates issues inside of our bodies because it's created by people who have issues inside of their bodies. And they're not in vibrational resonance with this emotional, energetic, elemental, natural environment that we're creating to connect. I'm already in a human body, so I can breathe the same air as you, and we can sit in the same room and actually communicate vibrationally. Like, if we plug into a virtual reality headset, I'm not looking at you. I'm looking at an algorithm projecting out a light body of your avatar, and that's all based on us trusting the people who built our system. So you need to know that this is all just about making you hate yourself. And of course, this black scene, this maximation, is only about making you not trust yourself. The only reason you would think that it's healthier for you to get injected with a mystery fluid is because you don't know what fasting is. You literally have to not be aware of fasting. You just have no awareness of how healthy fasting is. To think that a government coming up with some mystery fluid based on something that they barely even understand is going to be healthier for you than eating nothing at all. And it just shows that we are in this super anti-spiritual time where this disgustingly white supremacist society system that has only gotten people lost in physical reality is forcing everyone to be spiritual, because now we can see that unless you're actually lost, their explanation of physical reality doesn't make sense. The way that science explains physical reality doesn't make sense. The way that these white supremacist intelligent systems, the WHO, all these corporations, the CDC, all these health organizations using my caduceus to explain health and alchemy does not make sense. And we can see that it doesn't make sense, and then we can see even deeper that they actually want to make sense off of us. They're telling us that we shouldn't be breathing air because it's healthier for us to not breathe air. Air. They're telling us that instead of breathing air, we need to get injections to be healthy. Any human with any ounce or shred of common sense, any spirit with any connection with their soul whatsoever, knows that they did not create a body in this realm to not breathe air. You know that you did not create a body in this world to wear a mask, stay inside, and only communicate through a light projection that people have to pay money to see. You know this on a subconscious level. This is the point of somatic sociology. Somatic sociology, like I'm speaking, this is me as a subconscious specialist getting to the root of how we're even able to consciously observe patterns play out. Because all patterns are subconscious. So the fact that your cells, the fact that your heart is beating is a subconscious pattern. That's a representation of your vibration, okay? The fact that your cells are energy carrying out the vibrational intentions of your frequently beating heart is a representation of how your spirit is vibrating at a certain frequency to create the energy that allows you to stabilize into some kind of structure which you can touch. I got this shit on lock, guys. Like, this awakening journey has been amazing. I love fasting. I love psychedelics. I love eating nothing and not getting some random injection in my body from people that I can historically see have only done evil things to me and my family and my ancestors and everything that I've built. Again, I'm called here from Mercury because this is the stuff that makes me have my own separate simulation. And this is why I, as Hermes, am so passionate about Hermeticism, about my system, about my religion, which is teaching you how to build your own religion. That's why Jews, that's why Christians are obsessed with me. That's why they're obsessed with Hermes, they're obsessed with Thoth, they're obsessed with Hermeticism, they're obsessed with my Emerald Tablets, they're obsessed with my Caduceus, they're obsessed with using my teachings on how you can connect with yourself to convince you that you should connect with them. They're obsessed with using me, teaching you how you can create your own heaven, to teach you how you need to actually follow their rules so that you can go to their heaven. Because all a spirit can do once they listen to me talk about how you connect with yourself to build simulations is be like, okay, let me manipulate this so that I can make other people connect with me. And then that's like my eternal battle throughout all life. Like, you see me here talking about the medical industry and fasting and everything. The fact that the medical industry is using my Caduceus, my creation, to spread disease means that I have a great power, comes great responsibility, vibrational attachment to this creation. And this is the vibrational responsibility that comes with having power. When you as a spirit have the power to express yourself, you have the responsibility to connect with that in an empathetic way. So I've expressed myself through the Caduceus. It's my responsibility to bring my Trip C, Chase Calloway clarity to what the Caduceus actually means. Or else people are just going to abuse the power of the Caduceus. And then all these spirits are just going to unconsciously get injected with these ugly, disgusting heavy metal concoctions that's creating heart problems inside of them because they don't know what the Caduceus represents. And now they're at the whim of the vibration. Because the Caduceus is a strong vibration. The point is, anything that you can consciously see was created from a spirit's vibration. So I had to connect with myself and feel a type of way about my own individuality before I could author the Caduceus into existence. The only way the Caduceus has gone as hard as it has up to this point is because the spirits that have supported me have supported my creation as well. Nothing can exist alone. Again, you can exist alone. That's why you are alone as a spirit, but your body is not alone. Your body is so many cells. Your body is so many spirits building something that can work as one more complex, cohesive body that allows you to manipulate yourself into existence. But you know that you have a heart, a brain, a spleen, lungs, kidneys. You have all these organs that are organizing into your organism so that you can orgasm into existence. And it's also you can go as in also you can go. Also, you can take your space and feel like you're traveling out of your space. And now us as spaces can feel like we're connecting because we're actually vibrating structures that are touching. So because we're both using the same energy, now both of us as separate spaces can observe each other. Otherwise, our spaces are too separate. Like, I as space am separate from you. This is my point as Mercury. I built Mercury to relay communication throughout all the universe. Any simulation that's ready to call me away, to let you know to take responsibility for your power. It's like that simple. It's truly Spider-Man stuff, all right? So this planet has been obsessed with Spider-Man. They've been obsessed with Hermes. They've been obsessed with Hermeticism. With great power comes great responsibility. They've been obsessed with the subconscious world. They've been obsessed with how everything is connected because it's all about us loving being able to communicate ourselves into existence. That's all Hermes is about. That's all air is about. Us being able to communicate how we feel about our ideas into existence so that now we can all see it. This is why air is the first visible element. It's about what we can see. This is why anything you can see exists inside of air. This body that you can see only matters because I'm breathing air. So it takes me being completely detached from all this spiritual wisdom that I just kicked to you. If it takes me not being connected with myself to think that I would be healthier not breathing air. And that is the point where most of the world is at. Except for, of course, these comments. The reason YouTube got rid of the dislike button is because people know that they're supposed to be breathing air. And they're tired of having ideas projected into their space that it's actually dangerous to breathe air and it's dangerous to talk to people. And the only way that you can safely breathe air and connect with your fellow man is to get an injection from the government that wants to make money off of creating health problems inside of your body with Chase Calloway's Caduceus. So that's it for this episode of Cymatic Sociology. Peace out. Stay healthy. Stay safe. And by stay safe, I mean stay spiritually connected to your individuality. Much love.